computer. Thank you so much, Simran, for reminding. Yes. So once again, this is the sixth, seventh, eighth, and the ninth chapters of Rich Dad and Poor Dad that we are going to go ahead. So I'll start off with the seventh chapter. In between, I'll be showing you PDF points, or maybe something we will interact and then get to know. Just before that, let me know how many of you, I know Rakhi, Simran, and Manika must have read this book definitely. So may I know remaining how many of you have gone through this book? Can you give me a virtual hand raise or a physical hand raise? Any idea? Roshni? Yeah, Janani has completed. Okay, good. Thank you, Janani, for responding. Priya, Nadamani. Okay, Jagrati is also there. Welcome, Jagrati. Okay, thank you, Janani. If you have not had time to read this book, I recommend that you go ahead and buy a book and read. Buying a book than a PDF is much better. You will have the physical feel of holding the book in your hand, the smell of it, and turning the pages. That will, of course, audio books and then PDFs are all there, always there. So when we are multitasking, we can use them. But otherwise, also go ahead and have the physical book in your hand. It helps you. So I am just I also have the PDF version of it, which I will be able to show to you at times in between. But apart from it, let me read out and then ask your experiences. So from the seventh chapter, which we see here, I'm not sure. Yeah, the seventh chapter, which is overcoming obstacles. So here, the primary difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they manage fear. It is more about fear about money, fear about managing your money. So here, the author says there are five main reasons why financially literate people may still not develop abundant asset columns that could produce a large cash flow. The five reasons are: one is fear, two is cynicism, three is laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. I repeat: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. So these are the five reasons. What are those obstacles? So overcoming this fear. So who really likes losing money? Always we have this fear of losing money. This itself leads to procrastination, number one, or also sometimes it turns out into laziness, or sometimes it is that ignition factors to start to momentum, how we can start a business or start investing or thinking about. Till this seventh chapter, we have seen in the previous chapters, part 1, part 2, part 3, we have seen about the thoughts, how to start going ahead, taxes, what is it about, and all. And now we are coming to the seventh chapter addressing this issue which I am talking about. So the fear of losing money is real. That's what the author says. Everyone has it. Even the rich have it. But it's not about having fear that is the problem. That is not the problem. It's how you handle your fear. It's how you deal with your fear, how you handle losing. This is how the failure makes a difference in one's life. The primary difference between a rich man and a poor man is actually how they manage their fear. And here, in this book, the author also says you can lose money and still you can be rich. So we are all heroes or at something and cowards at something else. No, this is not about white and black. This is about the grayness, where all of us have both of them. We have the fear, we have the strength in some areas, and we are cowards at some areas. So here, the author also says, my friend's wife is an emergency room nurse. So when she sees blood, she's jumping and very quickly active. So that makes her active. Now look at this. What is that pushing you to start working? For that lady who is an emergency room nurse, it is the look of the view of the blood, the thought of the blood, the picture or the information about something blood. So when I mention, and when she sees blood, she flies into action. But when I mention investing, she runs away. So about investing, she's fearful of investing. So she when see that is what is your strength, and what makes you a coward. So when she see, because she doesn't understand money, she doesn't understand language, she doesn't understand investing, she's it's like, blank about money. And how many of you agree that all of us have this? Any ideas? Anything would like to share? Simran, any idea? Anything would you like to
Yeah.
share? Yeah.
Yeah, the blocks, the way we have been brought up in our childhood,
Yes.
so it's all because of that basically. And this education is not there in school, so we are just left to learn whatever comes to us by default. When we
Fantastic.
are now, when we are in a group like this, and we are connected to people who have achieved success, so we are getting to learn.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Things have changed. Yes, Simran, I
Yes.
totally
Yes.
agree with you.
Yes.
And now we all are from that generation where this financial literacy has not been taught at all. It is one of the life skills. It has to be started at least now. Financial literacy. Of course, now the homes have changed, the way parenting has changed, and people are attending to it. But the whole of the curriculum has to be added in schools, and children from very young age, from when they start to understand going to school or peer, all of this has to start with learning how to understand money and how to start investing. So here from the book I read out another paragraph. My rich dad understood phobias about money. Some people are terrified of snakes, some people are terrified about losing money. Both are phobias, he would say. So his solution to the phobia of losing money was this little rhyme: if you hate risk and worry, start early. That's what we discussed just now. Start early. First, we need to identify what we are fearful about. And when we know what we are fearful about, attack that. Money is something which has not been told or spoken about at home earlier. Now, of course, better. Earlier in our childhood, we used to listen to these, most of this, we used to hear to these kind, money is not growing on trees, or you spread your leg as much as your sheet is. So, be very careful with money and all. Yes, of course, you need to be careful, but then you should also feel that it is an abundant energy rather than feeling scared and then feeling lack of it. We need to feel the abundance of the energy. Money is energy, money is a tool. That's what the author also says, and I'll share some more. But if you do not have much time left or would like to retire early, how do you handle the fear of losing money? This is something thought provoking, which we all need to think about. So my poor dad did nothing. He simply avoided the issue, refusing to discuss the subject, because the poor dad was all fear of losing money. And my rich dad, on the other hand, recommended that I think like a Texan. I like Texas and Texans. He used to say, in Texas, everything is bigger. When Texans win, they win big. And when they lose, it's spectacular. So they like losing. Do they like losing? I asked. That's not what I'm saying. Nobody likes losing. Show me a happy loser and I will show you a loser, said the rich dad. It's Texans' attitude towards risk, reward, and failure, which I am talking about. It's how they handle life, how they deal with the life. This is what the rich dad has been telling Robert Kiyosaki. And from here on, Robert Kiyosaki also shares that the rich dad went on. What I like best in Texas attitudes is they are proud when they win and they brag when they lose. So Texans have a saying: if you are going to go broke, go big. Go if you are going to go broke, go big. That's what his rich dad said. You don't want to admit you went broke over a duplex, right? So he constantly told Mike and me. Mike is the rich dad's son, which we have been seeing throughout. He constantly told Mike and me that the greatest reason for lack of financial success was because most people played it too safe. Most people played it too safe. Even today, most of us play safe, myself including. This has been the thought process, and we are still just learning because of such kind of peer groups, such kind of like mindedness. All of us are learning to come out of that fear. And people are so afraid of losing that they lose with words also. So in the author says, in my own life I have noticed that winning usually follows losing. Before I finally learned to ride a bike, I first fell down many times. I have never met a golfer who never lost a golf ball. Now for all of us, uh, fear of losing, that means fear of losing money, fear of losing in the first attempt. So this is something which stops us. These are roadblocks, these are those kind of hurdles which we ourselves put in our path to grow successfully. These are all self sabotaging. Now, just imagine. I want any one of you to also answer me. Just imagine, in case if the child, a small child, a 6 months, 7 months child, started to crawl, started to take first steps, holding the stool, holding the table, and then chair, and then starting to rise and then fall down, taking that first step. As the child is doing, do we stop them doing that? Do we stop them doing that, Nadamuni? No, right? We
No,
don't.
madam.
We don't stop it because we are happy. All the more we are clapping, we encourage. Because if we stop them and then put the baby to safety, that don't do this, you will fall down. Then, if we do not allow the baby to take those baby steps, we are actually curtailing their growth and curtailing their progress. Why are we not applying that same formula in our mind for our own progress when we grow up? Because we have conditioned ourselves, looking at the circumstances around, looking at the people talking, taking that into our head, and then relying more on them more than our beliefs. So we have to clear our beliefs in our head and register that whatever we are doing is for our benefit and self belief. That is the most important one. From there, when we take on, learn from such kind of books and start implementing it. There are many books. We are talking today about this book. So go ahead, start learning and start implementing, just like those baby steps. Yes, we will fall down. How many times a baby has fallen down, and yet they got that courage, and then they started going ahead. And the baby also, if you observe, this is a small insight which I would like to tell you. Whenever the baby falls down, the baby on its own never cries. The baby looks around, and if somebody says, "Oh, yo," then the baby starts crying. Have you observed it? Right. So that means in our mind also, just like that amygdala is storing this. So when we are failing, we are only failing because what will people think about us? That is more prominent in our head rather than our own belief. So start coming out of it. So don't fall for what will people think about it. Let people think about whatever they want. Let us do our first steps. So we start to doing our first steps. Coming back to the book, for most people, the reason they don't win financially is because the pain of losing money is far greater than the joy of being rich. I repeat, the pain of losing money is far greater than the joy of being rich. So reframe that sentence and start doing. So failure inspires warriors, and failures defeats losers. This is also most important. So in the author's words, probably his words that mean the most to me today are those: Texans don't bury their failures, they get inspired by them. I repeat, Texans don't bury their failures, they get inspired by them. They take their failures and turn them into rallying cries. And failures inspire Texans to become winners, right? But the formula is not just the formula for Texans, it is the formula for all winners. For us also, the people who have overcome these kind of failures, go back into your life and see that failure would have inspired you so much that you could boomerang or double with your coming back with double the speed. Is there anybody here who would like to share any of your wins which you have speeded after your failure? Is there anybody who would like to share here? Welcome. Yes, Rakhi, thank you so much. Absolutely, yes. Is there anything would you like to share? Anybody?
Let's see if anybody else wants to share something.
Yes,
I don't want to hog the limelight always.
You are here, dear. Yeah, so Maurice, welcome. Is there anybody who would like to share any incident in your life?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please, Nadamuni.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
share?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Go
ma'am.
ahead. Go ahead.
మ్యామ్ నేను తెలుగులో చెప్తాను.
చెప్పండి పర్లేదు.
యాక్చువల్గా మేము అంటే ఈ బుక్ నేను వాస్తవంగా ఒక 10 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి చదువుతున్నాను. నేను నా దగ్గర ఈ బుక్ ఉంది. ఇది కానీ పారాబుల్ ఆఫ్ పైప్ లైన్ కానీ కొన్ని బుక్స్ అయితే ఉన్నాయి. బట్ ఈ పుస్తకాల్లో ఎసెన్స్ అనేది మనకు రియల్ లైఫ్ లో కూడా చాలా బాగా హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది. యాక్చువల్గా నా కేసు తీసుకుంటే నేను 2014లో అంటే 2014 ముందు నేను కార్పొరేట్ కంపెనీస్ వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఒక్కసారిగా అప్పుడు జాబ్ చేంజ్ అవ్వడం వల్ల అందరం కూడా మేము ఒకసారి జాబ్ చేంజ్ అయినాము ఆ టైంలో, రెసిషన్ టైంలో. అక్కడ నుంచి ఏం చేశారంటే ఫస్ట్ జాబ్ నేను 7,000 శాలరీకి వెళ్ళాను 2014లో. 7,000 శాలరీ, కటింగ్స్ అన్ని పోనీ 5,000 వచ్చేది. అక్కడ నుంచి కెరీర్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను. యాక్చువల్గా ఐఎమ్ నేటివ్ ఆఫ్ తిరుపతి, బట్ ఒక ఫ్రెండ్ కోసం నేను హైదరాబాద్ బ్రాంచ్ నేను స్టార్ట్ చేశాను కెరీర్ ని, అంటే ఇన్సూరెన్స్ లో మేనేజర్ గా.
ఓకే.
బట్ లోకల్లో నేను నాన్ లోకల్ కింద చాలా ఛాలెంజెస్ అన్ని ఫేస్ చేస్తూ వచ్చాము. ప్రతిసారి అనమాట, ఎవ్రీ టైం అంటే సేమ్ కంపెనీ నుంచి నా కాంపిటీషన్, నా
ఓకే.
కొలీగ్స్ కావచ్చు, బాసెస్ నుంచి కావచ్చు, ఇట్లా డిఫరెంట్ ఛాలెంజెస్, జియోగ్రఫికల్ ఛాలెంజెస్, వీటన్నిటి ఫేస్ చేసుకుంటూ గత 80 నెలలుగా నేను నా జోన్లో, ఎంటైర్ జోన్లో ఐఎమ్ ద టాపర్. అంటే 80 నెలలుగా ఆ ర్యాంక్ అనేది నంబర్ 1 ర్యాంక్ అలాగే అచీవ్ చేసుకున్నాము.
కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్.
ఆ 5,000 శాలరీని మేము 5 lakh per month వరకు పెంచుకోగలిగినాం.
ఓ, that's really amazing.
కానీ యాక్చువల్గా ఆ బుక్ చూస్తే ఏంటంటే, మీరు ఎంప్లాయ్మెంటే వద్దంటాడు ఆథర్, కానీ ఇక్కడ
Yes.
తప్పనిసరిగా మేము ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ లో ఉండాల్సి వచ్చింది.
Yeah. No, that's true. అన్ని అందరికీ వర్తించావు. So what Nadamuni has been saying is 2014 he started with 5,000 and then he has implemented the principles, now 5 lakh per month. Big congratulations to Nadamuni for sharing this incident. Wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wonderful. Using the principles in the book as well as
Yes, ma'am.
implementing it.
అంటే
Implementing కదా?
లెవరేజింగ్ బాగా మేడం, ఇది మామూలుగా టీమ్ బిల్డింగ్ అప్పుడు నాకు
Yes.
అంటే ఎక్కువ టీమ్ బిల్డ్ చేయడానికి, లెవరేజ్ చేయడానికి నాకు ఈ బుక్ బాగా సపోర్ట్ అయింది మేడం.
Exactly. Fantastic. Thank you so much for Nadamuni for
థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం.
sharing this. So yes,
you, ma'am.
absolutely, for team building, leveraging in the concept of team building, that's what Nadamuni says. So this is how you have to share your ideas with your team as well as thought process, not only team in your corporate offices, at home also, even because home is also a team, different mindsets. When wife and husband start the family, okay, both of you can align, stay in alignment or non-alignment also. If you are in your own space, it works. But as children come, they grow, you become individuals. Children also will have their own thought process. For me personally, I feel in a family of 4 or 5, or including the parents and in-laws and all, if it is 6 or 8 people, this thought process of team building is very important. Otherwise, it is all chaos in the family. Do you all agree with me? Yes. So one thought process, at least the common main things, individuality is respected, but one thought process on which the whole family is running. So for that team building concept also, this book plays a major role. Thank you so much for that, for adding Nadamuni. And yes.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So the greatest secret of winners is that failure inspires winning, and thus they are not afraid of losing. That is more important. There is a big difference between hating losing and being afraid to lose. I repeat, there is a big difference between hating losing and being afraid to lose. Hating losing is okay. You are losing and then still going ahead and doing again and repeating, and you are hating losing. That's different. But afraid to lose will not allow you to make an attempt. Afraid to lose will not allow you to progress further. So it is curtailing your progress. You are not able to go ahead. So look at what is your mind saying. Are you hating to lose or are you afraid to lose? Look at that and then go ahead properly. Okay. If you look at any successful person, at the start, they were not balanced. Balanced people go nowhere. Balancing. We are talking about balancing. Balancing means playing safe. When we started this session, we told playing safe. Many of us play safe, which is not correct according to this book. And also in society also, balancing is being diplomatic or balancing decisions according to this is not right. Balancing people go nowhere. You have to go strong, right? So I read out from the book. They stay in the balancing people stay at only one place. To make progress, you must first go unbalanced. Just look at how you make progress walking. This is the same example which we used in the beginning when we started. So Thomas Edison was not balanced. Thomas Edison, we remember, because of that filament light, right? He made those experiments. He made more than thousands of experiments. And every time when he was experimenting, people around him used to tell him, why Thomas, you waste your time and energy and money? Why Thomas, you waste your time and energy and money on something which you are going to lose again? That's what people pulled him back. But you know what Thomas told? By doing this, I am helping you all that you need not repeat this. So Thomas was not balanced. Thomas was actually aggressive by going on conducting his experiments, and he told them that I am proving that you need not repeat this. So failure comes in 2 versions. One, it tells you this method is not applicable. Change the method and repeat again. That's what failure tells. Second message, that it gives you experience. So whenever anybody is failing, my dear friends, there are 2 insights which we need to take. One, it tells you change the process and repeat again. Number 2, it tells you that it gives you an experience. So, but then let us see here, in our society, we see so many people when they fail, they take drastic steps. We have seen in newspapers, etc., etc. People take drastic steps because they have failed. So failure is something very bad for them. But change. Let us all be ambassadors from now on for failure. Failure is good to happen. The earlier, the better. That's what we said. Start early. Fail forward. Fail fast. Fail forward. The earlier you fail, it teaches you lessons, and then we fail forward. That means go ahead. So let us all be brand ambassadors. If somebody has failed, let us say it's good. It's giving you a message. It's also giving you an experience. Go ahead and repeat the process, which is the changed methodology. That's what we have to tell. So if you have the desire to be rich, you must focus. Do not do what the poor and the middle class people do. Put their few eggs in many baskets, because poor and middle class people are playing safe. They are putting their eggs in many baskets. But the rich do not do like that. So put a lot of your eggs in a few baskets and focus. Learn, fall, fail, fail forward, and repeat. That's what the author says. Focus. Focus one course until successful. This is what the author says. Right? So over 25 years old and was terrified of taking risks. Don't change. Play it safe, but start early. Start accumulating your nest egg early, because it will take time. This is what the author says. And second is overcoming cynicism. In this chapter, 7th chapter, the second point, overcoming cynicism. Cynicism here, all of us have seen in our kindergartens or in our first standards. We have seen the sky is falling. The sky is falling. Most of us know the story of that headless chicken. The sky is falling, right? So this one, the author says, who run around warning the barnyard of impending doom. So this, the sky is falling. All of us have doubts. I am not smart. I am not good enough. So this is how we feel. So break those barriers. The author says, Peter Lynch of Fidelity Magellan Mutual Fund fame refers to warnings about the sky as falling as the noise in our head, that chatter, that little voice chatter, which keeps us, which stops us. It's said that there are two demons sitting on our shoulders here between the ears, and then that's always, it's noise, creating noise such that we don't take the proper decision. So first calm that, cool that, calm that noise which we always keep hearing. First calm it down. Only then you will be able to take proper decisions. Now here the author says, noise is either created inside our heads or comes from outside, often from friends, family, co-workers, and the media. So most of the time people around us always keep saying something or the other, but then for you all, you have to know who is that person who is speaking. Is it just because they want to speak, or is it out of their experience? Have that clarity. If somebody is speaking from their experience, value that. If somebody else is speaking just like that because they want to either warn us or suggest us or recommend us because they are elder or something like that, then you need not pay attention to that. That is up to you, your own clarity. So most people are poor. The author says the most people are poor because when it comes to investing, the world is filled with chicken littles, that headless chickens, running around yelling, the sky is falling. It often takes great courage to not to let those rumors and talk of doom gloom affect our doubts and fears. But a savvy investor knows that the seemingly worst of times is actually the best of the times to make money. When everyone else is too afraid to act, they pull the trigger and then are rewarded. That's what the brave people did. That's what Robert Kiyosaki has done. That's what he is recommending us also to do with. So here there is a small incident which he talks about. Some time ago, a friend named Richard came from Boston to visit Kim and me in the Phoenix, and he was impressed with what we had done through stocks and real real estate. The Phoenix real estate prices were depressed. We spent 2 days showing him what we thought were excellent opportunities for cash flow and capital appreciation. So taking this, if you have hands on the book, just go through this, and then you will see that the Richard, he has not taken that decision, and Robert Kiyosaki has taken the decision of investing. So today you will see in the book, he says today Richard he has done nothing. So Richard's backing out did not surprise me. It's called buyer's remorse, and it affects all of us. The little chicken, the headless little chicken won, and a chance for freedom was lost. So headless little chicken, we have to identify ourselves. What is that we are doing at times? Where are we getting sucked into that trap? And then the third point comes as overcoming laziness. Overcoming laziness, I'll read out one paragraph. Busy people are often the most lazy. We have all heard stories of businessmen who works hard to earn money. He works hard to be a good provider for his wife and children. He spends long hours at the office and brings work home on weekends. One day he comes home on an empty house, and then his wife has left, and then his children are with his kids, and he knew his wife and children had problems, but rather than work to make the relationship strong, he stayed busy at work, and then he actually disowned them. He did not attend to them. This made his performance at work also slips, and he loses his job. So don't be too busy to deal with what is there at your hand. So this is what overcoming laziness. So today I often meet people who are too busy to take care of their wealth. Start investing your thoughts in your accumulation of your wealth also, right? So nobody has to tell them. You have to. So what is the cure for laziness? The answer is a little greed. Greed means it's not about selfishness. It's a little greed. The author gives us, for many of us, we are afraid of thinking of greed or desire as bad. We have been into this format of thinking of few words which have the fixed answer, fixed meaning. Do not take it per se. So go ahead. For greedy people are bad people. This is what it has been registered since our childhood, and we have been fine-tuned. But you have to take it to consideration. So to keep that emotion of desire, which is nothing but greed, under control, often parents find ways of suppressing that desire with guilt. You only think about yourself. This is how we have been tuned in childhood. So please come out of that loop. Rich dad forbade the wounds. He says, I can't, whenever there is something like, whether you will be afford it or not, the poor dad says, I can't afford it. It's already decided, I can't afford it. So what is the universe listening to? Universe is listening to, I can't afford it. But the rich dad says, question yourself, how can I afford it? Add the word, how can I afford it? When you're adding this, you are questioning the universe such that you are asking it to give you pathways. And then you are quizzing. You are going into the pathways of what else can I do? What is that I can do? When you are doing this, you are throwing a challenge to the universe and to yourself, and you are exploring different methods. This way, your thought process is also working and your body is also into action. So laziness, overcoming laziness. Rich dad believed that the words, I can't afford it, shut down in your brains. Never think in that man. How can I afford it? Opens up possibilities, excitement, and dreams. This is about the third point. The problem, the author says, the problem I see today is that there are millions of people who feel guilty about their desire or their greed. It's old conditioning from their childhood. While they desire to have the finer things about that the life offers, most of them have conditioned subconsciously. I can't have changed that and tell them, how can I afford this? And too much of greed, however, as anything in excess can be, is not good. That also the author says. But just remember what Michael Douglas said in the movie Wall Street. Greed is good. Rich dad said it differently. Guilt is worse than greed, for guilt robs the body of its soul. I think Eleanor Roosevelt said it best. Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you will be criticized anyway. You will be damned if you do and damned if you don't. So don't worry about what is it. Then you take your own decision. Then comes the fourth part, overcoming bad habits. Till now, anybody would like to share any other experience of yours? pertaining to what we have gone through till now? Anybody? Yes, go ahead, Simran. Thank you.
Yeah, a very important sharing. I thought it's apt here.
Yes.
Since you said, okay, previously when I was working, that 10 to 6 job, I used to buy everything on EMI. Even if you have the money, but itna fit tha ki, okay, I have to buy, no, I'll go and buy. But now when I change my mindset, okay, I am not going to buy it on EMI, I'm going to buy it on full down payment. So, automatically, now if I have to buy, and if suppose something is, price which I'm not able to buy now, or I'm thinking I'll buy, but the EMI option has gone out of my mind, and will you believe, literally from last 2 years, whatever I have purchased, it's in the mind. I've just paid full down payment. So it was all the blocks.
Yes.
We were taught, okay, loan pe lena hai, EMI pe easy. Even the shopkeeper was the people who were selling like mobile. I went to buy a mobile. He said, ma'am, iPhone, you have to just pay this much EMI. I said, no, I will buy it with full down payment.
Yes.
Okay? So, and then this is just a small example. So
correct.
Just this has changed, and I am out of that okay, EMI date is coming. So
how can I afford it?
Yeah. So that has gone in the mind. So
fantastic.
I'm not worried about the EMI date now. I said, okay, I don't want that, because that, when you buy that time,
yes.
happily you buy, but that happiness retained for 2-3 days. And when the EMI date comes, everybody is going down.
Yes.
So now I've come out of all that.
Yeah. Thank you, Simran, for sharing that. Absolutely fantastic, right? So yes, EMI options, plastic money, all of this is there for rotation, business purpose. That is a different story altogether. But for an individual, yes, what you say, how can I afford it? You have asked and you have got it, right? Down payment. So there are so many possibilities for you. Like that, each one of us can think about it. Thank you so much for sharing this. Yes. So next, the fourth part is overcoming bad habits. Here again, the author says, our lives are a reflection of our habits more than our education. After seeing the movie Conan and the Barbarian, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, the movie, I did love to have a body like Schwarzenegger. Most of the body guys nodded in agreement. I even heard he was really puny and skinny at one time. Right? So this is an example here of habits controlling behavior. He went into Schwarzenegger actually went into a lot of change, the way he was conducting himself, the way he was practicing, and then he has shown himself how he can make over his body and his mindset also. So this is an example of habits controlling behavior. I remember asking my rich dad about the habits of rich. Instead of answering me outright, he wanted me to learn through an example as usual. When does your dad pay his bills? Rich dad asked. The first of the month, I said. Does he have anything left over? He asked. Very little, I said. That's the main reason he struggles, said the rich dad. He has bad habits. See, we generally think paying the bills first is a very good habit. Here, the rich dad proves that he has bad habits. Your dad pays everyone else first. He pays himself last. This is the first thing which we learn in this book formula. Pay yourself first. That's what he says. So, your dad pays everyone else first. He pays himself last, but only if he has anything left over, which he actually doesn't. And I said, but he has so many bills to pay. So if you are saying he shouldn't pay, he shouldn't pay the bills? Of course not, said the rich dad. I firmly believe in paying my bills on time. I just pay myself first before I pay even the government. That's what the mind process has. So you see, after paying myself, the pressure to pay my taxes and the other creditors is so great that it forces me to seek other forms of income. This is where you start thinking of multiple sources of income. So he has sown the idea. The rich dad has sown the idea into our author that you should also pay yourself first, and also looking at paying the bills, you should look at how can I afford it. That is when you are thinking of multiple sources of income. So it is the fear of the government or to other people you owe money that motivates you. This is what for the rich people, how you think about it. So if I pay myself first, I get financially stronger, and mentally and fiscally, financially also. So when you are mentally strong, emotionally strong about your financial status, that is when you become rich. That's the seeding. Last one, the fifth one in this chapter, is about overcoming arrogance. So what I know makes What I know makes me money. What I don't know loses me money. Every time I have arrogance, I have lost money. This is what the author says, arrogance. Because when I am arrogant, I truly believe that what I don't know is not important. Rich dad would often tell me. So here, these are many people in the world of who are actually in the world of money, finances, investments, who have absolutely no idea what they are talking about. Most people in the money industry are just sprouting off sales pitches like they used car salesmen. So when you know you are ignorant is a subject, start educating yourself. So here afterwards, my dear friends, if you know something is not working for you, start educating yourself, learn about it, and again attempt, fail fast, fail forward, then start growing. So here the author says, when you know you are ignorant in a subject, start educating yourself by finding an expert in that field or a book on the subject. So here we finish the 7th chapter. I am going to the 8th chapter, getting started. Getting started. Here again, there is gold everywhere. Most people are not trained to see it. Right? Absolutely. See, this is how many, anyone of you would like to share, throw light on this? There is gold everywhere. It's only that we have not trained to see it. This is applicable to our life also. There is so much of value everywhere. We only do not see. Every part is so important. Like, for example, in this pen, the cap, the nib, the refill, everything is important. At the same time, the small ball from where the flow is there, that is also important, right? Though the ball is so small, it has its own purpose. So we only need to know, we only need to think about every aspect of life, wherever we focus, how much important it is for us and how we can leverage on that. Getting started. Gold is everywhere. Most people are not trained to see it. So here the author says, I offer you the following 10 steps. 10 steps as a process to develop your God-given powers over which only you have control. And these 10 steps I have here in a screenshot. I will just share with you this one. In short, we can finish this. These are the 10 steps. You can see on your screen 10 lessons. 10 lessons from Rich Dad. First, learn to listen. Pay yourself first. Buy luxuries last, not first. Reduce expenses and liabilities. Aim for more valuable assets. Be in control over your emotions. Work to learn. Don't work to earn. 1 second. Yeah. Don't work to learn. Don't work to earn. You become what you study. Read a lot. Reinvest excess cash generated by assets. Surround yourself with people smarter than you. This. If anybody wants to take a screenshot, you can take screenshot. These are the 10 lessons from the 8th chapter. Individually, he has explained. You can go into detail. And the last one, see, the first, of course, all are important. The first and last are most important for you. Learn to listen. When we are listening, when we are paying attention to what the other person is saying, we get lot of clues. That is the best communication skill which we can learn, imbibe and implement. The last one, surround yourself with people smarter than you. What does that mean? Most of the times we anyway get into groups where like-minded people like us, our colleagues and all, and it is a human psychology that when we are with people who are seeking knowledge from us, who feel that we are at a much higher level than them, we are elevated. They always praise us. They always seek our advice. Then they actually glorify us. But we cannot live there. We are actually helping them, adding value, but we cannot live there. If you are there living, seeking, always giving guidance and only staying there without you upskilling yourself or upgrading yourself, you are dead. Let me say, you have to also have another group where you are into the people from whom you are learning. It should be like even our Google CEO Sundar Pichai also says that you should always be with people who are at a higher level, higher thought process than you. Only then you will be learning from them. Otherwise, where is the scope of you learning? You need to have these different groups with you such that You are there with your common colleagues, your own peers, like-mindedness. You are also adding value to people and you are helping them. That is how you give back to the society. And to elevate yourself, to upskill and upgrade yourself, you also get included in the higher groups, higher thought process groups. So this way your networking and people management, all of these skills come into picture. Okay, so these the other points in the 8th lesson, I'll just read out those points which he says. The earlier screenshot was taken where it was given in less just pointers. So find the reason greater than reality, the power of spirit. This is the first lesson which he say, first point which he says, if you do not have a strong reason, there is no sense of reading further. It should sound like too much work. The second point he says, make daily choices the power of your choice. Create your power of choice. Make your choice. See, today wherever we are, each one of you, today wherever we are is the power of the choice which we have done in the past. Right? Every point will have two choices. One is a convenient choice. One is the choice which your gut says, which your subconscious, which your gut says. So you have to decide what is the choice you want to make out of those two. So tomorrow where you want to be, that will be depending on today's choice. So remember, make a choice. Use your power of choice. That's what the author says. Then the third one the author says is about choose friends carefully, the power of association. This is what we just spoke about, the three different categories. Choose friends carefully, the power of association. And then the fourth, master a formula and then learn a new one, the power of learning quickly. This is what we have been saying. Learn, implement, fail, again implement, learn, change the methodology, learn, implement, fail forward, fast forward. So master a formula and then learn a new one, the power of learning quickly. This is the fourth one. Then the fifth one is about pay yourself first, the power of self-discipline. Pay yourself first is self-discipline. It is not greed. It is not selfish. Okay. So here the author says one small point. In the entrepreneur classes I teach, I constantly remind people to not focus on their product or service or widget, but to focus on developing management skills. The three most important management skills necessary to start your own business are cash flow, people, and personal time. These are the three most important elements of business and management. Cash flow, people, and personal time. This is in the fifth point which he has been saying. Coming to the sixth point. The sixth point which the author says in the 8th chapter is about, is about the fifth, sorry. Pay your broker well, the power of good advice. Pay your broker well, the power of good advice. Then the next one is about be an Indian giver, the power of getting something for nothing. Be an Indian giver, the power of getting something for nothing. Here, the author also says, the sophisticated investor's first question, how fast do I get my money back? ROI, today we talk about return on investment. Wherever you have invested, you also need to have a calculation as to how fast am I going to get my money back. And then the next one, the author says, use assets to buy luxuries, the power of focus. Use assets. Now here again, on the whole of the book, the author says when you are buying a house, we feel it is an asset. But the author proves it is a liability rather than an asset. So like this, go get into the book and then read and then get an insight about use your assets to buy luxuries, the power of focus. Then comes the next point, which is about choose heroes, the power of myth. And here he says, when I was a kid, I generally admired Bill Mays and many other heroes, and I wanted to be just like them. I treasured their baseball cards. I knew their stars, all of this. But then as a 9-year-old kid, when I stepped up to bat or played first the baseball or the catcher, it wasn't me. I pretended I was a famous baseball player. It's one of the most powerful ways we learn, and we often lose that as adults. As adults, we lose our heroes. You must be seeing that 3-year-old child who is very, very powerful. You must be seeing your own children. They know how to get things. They are fearless. And then as we grow, they become fearful because of the things which are surrounding us have conditioned our mind. So get back that inner child. Each of us has been a hero. Now get back, pretend, be in that, you visualize that, get that hero in your mind, start becoming that hero, and then start implementing that. It is only we are fearful. The seventh chapter starts about managing fear. So here it talks about being fearful is because we are conditioned to stay in that, and we enjoy that. We call sympathy, we attract sympathy and all of that. When you come out of that, when you are moving out of your comfort zone, is where the progress starts. So coming out of your comfort zone, getting pushed, getting bullied, getting failures, all of this teaches us. And the last one is teach and you shall receive the power of giving. This is what all of us talk about. Teach any concept which you read for yourself, maybe you will get 5%, 10%. When you start implementing that by teaching to others, let it be your child, let it be your parent, let it be your friend, anybody, when you start teaching them, you actually assimilate the information in your brain and you produce it, you reproduce it in your own words. That itself regenerates your cells, brain cells, and that's how it gets ingrained in your body, in your brain. So teaching actually allows you the power of giving. This is give back. Whatever we say, when we teach others, we are actually learning multiple times. So here we end the 8th chapter, and now coming to the 9th chapter. Still want, here are some to-dos. So in this, here are some to-dos. So here I will be just giving you snapshots of this, and then we will go for insights from all of you. So I will just read out. Stop doing what you're doing. In other words, take a break. Take a break and assess what is working and what is not working. This is very important. We become mechanical at times, and then we continue to do the same thing. Take a pause, rejuvenate yourself, do self-introspection. Check yourself, what is working, what is not working, and then reframe your thoughts and go ahead. Then the second one is look for new ideas. For new ideas for investing, you go to bookstores and search for books of unique subjects. Start exploring your ideas if it is in the same thought process. Then the next one, find someone who has done what you want to do, such that you can take them as mentors. Instead of reinventing the wheel, this is what we say, you find someone in that zone, in that domain, or in that niche, somebody who has already done that. You have an idea, but then you can ask them, you can share your idea, and then you can come up with a new better idea, much more improved version of your thought process. This is also important. Coming to the next one, take classes, read and attend seminars. This is the author suggests that you start to teach, as we already discussed, and then read a lot and then attend seminars. This is for upskilling ourselves and upgrading and also updating. These are the 3 words which I also implement, and I also tell always to people: upskill, upgrade and update. We have to be on par with what is happening. We can't close our eyes and ears and say, no, I am okay in my own way. I don't want to look at around what is happening. But we should also have the judgment of what to pick up and what not to pick up. You should also have the clarity based on your goals. Focus on what you want. So if you are having a clarity, then you will go ahead, definitely. And then the last one, which the author says, make lot of offers. Have lots of offers, lots of possibilities. When you are into networking meetings and other things, this will have lot of possibilities for yourself. So taking this into consideration, let me read out the final thoughts which the author speaks, and then I will come back to your sharing. Okay. So the final thoughts, I would like to share some final thoughts with you. The main reason I wrote this book and the reason it has remained the bestseller since 2000 was to share insights into how increased financial intelligence can be used to solve many of life's common problems. Without financial training, we all too often use the standard formulas to get through life: work hard, save, borrow, pay excessive tax. Today, more than ever, we need better information. So here I would like to rest this, and then I can ask you all to share your thoughts. So before that, let me give you little insights. The 3 sources of incomes which the author says in the book is in the world of accounting, there are 3 different types of incomes: ordinary, portfolio, and passive. Today, now is the trend for passive income also. Earlier, long back 70s and all, it was work hard. One source of income, many people in the family, one single person used to feed the whole family. Then later on, there was a trend like everybody in the family can earn, mother, father, brother, sister, everybody started to earn. And now it has become like one person. And COVID has taught that one single income is not enough for the family. COVID has taught that you should have multiple sources of income, how much ever small it is. And not only multiple sources of income, look also for passive sources of income. Like, for example, I will give you, if you have invested in a house and it is giving you rent, your rent is your passive income because you are not working hard to get that rent. Like that, you can create books, you can create courses, you can create online courses, and you can register people into that. All of these are passive sources of income. So the author has also told about that. And he is also sharing, when my poor dad said to me, go to school, get good grades, and get a find a secure job, he was recommending I work for earned income. When my rich dad said, the rich don't work for money, when they have their money work for them, he was talking about passive income and portfolio income. Passive income in most cases is income derived from real estate investments. This is what we talked about. Portfolio income is income derived from the paper assets such as stocks and bonds. Portfolio income is the income that makes Bill Gates the richest man in the world. No, it's not earned income. So nowadays, about this portfolio income is also in trend. Most of the youngsters I see, they are most into this, but then have thorough knowledge. You need to attend seminars, you need to upgrade yourself, you need to know what is latest in the market, what is latest in the trend, where you should invest, where you are supposed to go ahead for the future, and all of this. So here I rest. Before this, let me also share with you another small insight. Simran, thank you so much. So here, let me also share another picture with you. Blair Singer was here on your screen. I am sharing. Blair Singer was Robert Kiyosaki's coach. Both of them, let me share with you. Yeah, both of them. It was time in 1997. 1997. Both of them, when they started with this book. Before that, Blair Singer was Robert Kiyosaki's coach, and then both of them have attended many seminars. I know through Blair Singer's mouth because I have personally met Blair Singer. I will tell you that after this. So this is the story of Blair Singer along with Robert Kiyosaki, thick most friends. And then there have been, Blair Singer once told, there has been a seminar where they were selling one of their books, and then not a single buyer was there. It was doomed, the whole of it. Then that's when they went into introspection. What went right? What went wrong? I am able to say this because I have been also working with Blair Singer. Here you can see on your screen. This is when I met Blair Singer in one of the Success Gyans, and I have worked along with him. And he has shared this story about his journey with Robert Kiyosaki, and how they have become successful later on. That's how Blair Singer also advises. Of course, Blair Singer also has lots of books, and then he has penned, and then he is also coaching many people. So this way, we need to get into seminars, learn more about it. And the final one, which I would like to share, the basic outline for this book, which Robert Kiyosaki says, is the poor dad. On your screen, you can see the poor dad thought money was the goal, but the rich dad said achieving your dream is the goal. I repeat, poor dad thought money was the goal. This is where most of the middle class, poor class still yet they are in this thought process. We need to change that thought process. The rich dad said achieving your dream is the goal. So start going and have big dreams. Go ahead and start achieving those big dreams. So my dear friends, here anybody would like to share your thoughts and insights and experiences? The floor is open for you all. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, I am seeing now the comments. Upskill, upgrade. What was the last word? Yeah, upskill, upgrade, and update. Priya. Simran, thank you so much. Yeah. So anybody else would like to share your experiences about the session? We have completed the book, and next week we are going to have another book. We will come up with the next poster and we will share in the groups. Priya,
madam,
would you like
thank you, madam.
Yes.
Thank you, Nadamani. Yeah, Priya, would you like to share?
Yes, yes. So, first of all, when I read your post, I was so thrilled the entire day to attend this session, because reading a book in any session was kind of first time experience and first time listening also. I understand though you have conducted earlier also, but since I work, I work in night shift, so I never got a chance to attend. And today I took a leave, fortunately, so I got to attend. I was at home, so I got to attend this, and I really enjoyed. So thank you for conducting such sessions. Firstly, and secondly, the point you said that we should work for our dreams, right? So now, for example, I'm doing a job, okay, which pays me say around 30 to 40,000, but I want to earn something better. But my job is only fetching me only a little amount of income. So how do I get to earn more income? Because in my job, I have to spend few years there, and then probably I'll get a promotion. It's not that because I want to earn so much, I'll get that money.
Yes.
I have to spend certain amount of years there to get a promotion, or to even to change a job and get the next job. I have to spend time in the current job. So how do you think this will? I hope you are able to figure out my problem.
So Priya, let me tell you, your job, of course, until you get promoted, that's one income, one source of income. Look at multiple sources of income. Look at another source of income. That means maybe you can write a book and publish about your experiences. Now you're doing a job. You must have experienced. So that experience, jot down, create blogs. You can get a blog on your own name and then go ahead and publish them. Blogging also you can earn. And another is maybe you will be having some other hobby, either you have some art or skill, or gardening or anything. Start an Instagram account passively, and then you can see you can earn money through Instagram also. When you share that, there are many other sources of income. Look at that, browse all of this, Priya. You will have alternate source of income, though it may not be lakhs and lakhs in the beginning, but it will start with a small amount and slowly you can build it up, right? So that is alternate source of income. Don't look at only one source of income. Priya, got it?
Got it.
Thank you. Explore all these ideas. Yeah, Nadamani, you wanted to share something, I think so.
Yes, sir. మ్యామ్, యాక్చువల్గా ఈ బుక్ అంటే కరెక్ట్గా చదివి అర్థం చేసుకొని మనకు దాన్ని అమలుపరచాలంటే ఖచ్చితంగా నాకు తెలిసినంత వరకు ఏంటంటే ఒక 6 months పడుతుంది. అంత పవర్ఫుల్ బుక్ ఇది. దీని ఒక ఆర్థిక గ్రంథం అని చెప్పొచ్చు. వాస్తవంగా మనం ఒక 25 ఏళ్ళు చదివి ఇంకొక 20 సంవత్సరాలు మనం అనుభవ ప్రకారం ఏదో ఒక పనులు చేసి ఆ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ మొత్తాన్ని ఆథర్ అద్భుతంగా బుక్ లో ఇచ్చారు. బట్ ఆ విషయం అంతా మీరు ఎంత చక్కగా అంటే కరెక్ట్ గా ఒక 45 minutes నుంచి 1 hour లోపల నేను అదే గమనిస్తాను. అసలు ఆ బుక్ ని మేడం ఏ విధంగా చెప్పగలుగుతారు? అసలు ఎంత చక్కగా చెప్పారంటే మాకు మీరు క్లియర్ కట్ గా అసలు పోసకొచ్చినట్టుగా మా మైండ్ లోకి వెళ్ళిపోయింది మేడం. వాస్తవంగా ఆ బుక్ గురించి చెప్పడం అంత ఈజీ కూడా కాదు. మనం చదివేటప్పుడు కూడా మనకు అంటే ఒక్కొక్క ఆథర్ మైండ్ సెట్ ఒకలా ఉంటుంది. ఫస్ట్ మనం ఆథర్ మైండ్ సెట్ అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి. ఆయన ఏం చెప్తున్నాడు, దాన్ని నేను ఎలా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఆ ఎసెన్స్ ఏంటి, అట్లా ప్రతి పాయింట్ మీరు అంటే ఎంటైర్ బుక్ మొత్తం మీరు 1 hour లో రియల్లీ గ్రేట్ మేడం. ఆసమ్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
నాకైతే 1 month పట్టింది మేడం ఆ బుక్ చదవడానికి. 6 నెలలు పట్టింది.
డెఫినెట్లీ. అంటే ఈ బుక్ ని మేము చాలా సార్లు చదివి ఉంటాం కదా, ఆ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, మన పర్సనల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్. సో వి యాడ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దాట్. అండ్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్ బికాస్ వీఆర్ ట్రైనర్స్, ఇట్లాంటి సెషన్స్ లో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఓన్లీ ఏమంటారు, సమయస్ఫూర్తి. ఆ టైం కలా వస్తాయి థాట్ ప్రాసెస్. సో దట్ వే ఇట్ ఈస్ హెల్పింగ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం. రాబర్ట్ కియోసాకి కూడా అన్నిసార్లు ఆలోచించదు ఆ బుక్. అంత అద్భుతంగా చెప్పారు మీరు అసలు.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. So Meenakshi, I saw your comment. It was full of new lessons for me. Meenakshi, maybe you can come on the camera and then you can share your lessons. In case if you feel comfortable, please come on the camera. Otherwise, it is fine. I know about you, Meenakshi. So you can share any lessons which you learned today. New lesson. And Janani, thank you, ma'am. It is wonderful. Because we are not having time to learn nowadays, it's more useful. Yes, of course. Reading this way, it is helpful. Meenakshi has left, okay? Priya, yes, it is about upskill, upgrade, and update. Update yourself. The third word is update. Update. Okay. Yeah. So good. Thank you all. We have completed this book successfully. Next, we will come up with another good book. Adi memo decide cheskoni meeku information istam Nadamani. Okay. So anyway, you are there in the group. We will let you know. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye. See you next
Thank you, ma'am.
week. Yeah. Thank you, Manika. Thank you. Yeah.